All right, well, we are live. Let me get this transition, which is a bit of a the old can. The can's
There we
here.
go.
It's official. We are live. Welcome back to
I
the
mean,
can.
I know we said last week we might make that like a bit of an intro, but I don't think we're going to do that.
It seemed a bit of an anticlimax, doesn't it? Let's be real.
I was just waiting too long to open it.
You've been waiting all week for that. You've just been sat there waiting to pull the
Yeah,
pull the trigger.
and it is it's Brewdog as well, same as I had last week. I'm pushing that sponsor.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they're quite controversial, are they
Uh,
not?
Oh, yes. I can't remember what it was. I don't really care. The beer's good.
We don't give a fuck. Sponsor us. Let's do it.
No one else will take your sponsor.
No one else will take it, but the casuals will. Well, welcome back then. I mean, I'm obviously not in my usual habitat. I am been kicked out of my room or my spare
What room
room.
are you in?
I'm in our
I
living
thought you were
room.
going.
I was
Oh,
gonna,
okay, nice.
I was gonna go kitchen, but the kitchen's just a state because we've got guests around, which is why I've been kicked out of the spare room. Long story short, people want to know my life, and so now I'm in the living room. I was gonna do it in the kitchen, but the kitchen's a state. It's cold, it's echoey, so I thought I'd do it in the living
So
room.
where are the guests and your wife in the kitchen?
I don't know. Hopefully they're keeping themselves occupied somewhere else, so they have to come in here. Well, because
Okay.
someone stayed in that room, I was told I can't do it in there. They said, what time will it finish? I said, we usually end up about 10 o'clock. And then I was told, well, you can't do it in there then. But I just had to take what I was given because obviously I'm being allowed to record with guests.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Anyway, here. Oh, I tell you what, I can show you though. A bit of Christmas spirit for you guys in
Oh
November. Got the
wow!
old Christmas tree up. If you're listening on Spotify, you're not listening on a video link, then shame. Oh my God, I've
It's
had
just a
this.
Christmas tree, guys. Don't worry.
Just a Christmas tree. Yeah,
So,
took a lot of time and
so
effort that.
is it okay to put your tree up in November? When's the earliest you can celebrate Christmas?
Mate, we're celebrating it now. I've got a 2-year-old. She's buzzing. Let's do it. It,
Okay.
it was mainly for her, to be honest. He says. But anyway, Merry Christmas, everyone. Right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. So I feel like it's been a quieter week than last week's podcast when we had a lot of news to talk about. And so we'll get through this. Let's see what there is going on. Is there anything in particular you want to start with, or you got on your mind at the world? We play some games? Is that we've been playing? I feel maybe not with you. I've been playing a lot of games with some other friends and pushing rank
Yeah,
and
I've been busy, mate. Like I don't even think we've spoke as much as we normally do because I've been so busy. I'm kind of juggling quite a few jobs at the minute. So yeah, I'm just mad busy. I've got my I've got a busy weekend coming up as well. So yeah, I've got a lot on my plate. CS has kind of been put on the back burner a little bit,
well,
and it's probably a good time because, like you say, it has been pretty quiet.
yeah, games wise has been pretty quiet. There's been some that Bet Boom Dacha qualifiers has been going on, a few other things, but other than that, it's been relatively quiet. And then Blast starts tomorrow, so you're gonna probably not have much chance to watch Blast. I'm gonna try and watch some Blast. I've got some stuff free this weekend, so I'm gonna try and watch. While we're on the subject of the Bet Boom Dacha qualifiers, interesting tournament that, right? It's over in Dubai in December. I think it's a good prize pool for the number one winner. It's like 180 grand, I think it's that one. But I was looking at the teams, and I find this with a lot of CS tournaments, and it's been the way for a while, especially with the partner team stuff. But like everyone's just invited. Like if you look at the teams that are lining up to go, let me just quickly have a quick open up of the tab. So where's the actual? Right, actual events. So this isn't the qualifier. This is the one in December. You got Astralis going. You got VP going. You got Cloud9, BetBoom. Obviously, it's in their name pretty much. Furia and Heroic. All of those teams were invited. So they just got invited to go play in Dubai for a prize pool of 300 grand, with the winner taking 180 grand, which is just like great. So who's had to work hard to get here? And what's been going on this week is the qualifiers. So Spirit and MIBR were the ones that actually qualified to go, with them beating some other teams. Auroras, Apex, Big were in there, Nine, Eternal Fire. So not the strongest of pools to win and get through, but I just think something needs to change with these competitions. I don't know that prize pool's not to be sniffed at, but just so many top 10 teams just get invited to these events with very little consideration for like competitive or like
Well,
fairness to
this
get
is
in.
the controversy around this event now. The the rankings, the Valve rankings have changed, and they're going heavily off.
Prize money.
Yeah, yeah. What organizations, what prize amounts they've won, and then you've got companies like BetBoom that have a team inviting their own team to an event that they have a good chance of winning. I guess. I mean, I wouldn't say they're heavy favourites, but they've got a good chance of winning it, and it does kind of skew the rankings slightly. So
Yeah.
yeah, I do understand why it's so controversial. If rankings are so important to companies, but also when an organization is holding an event with their own organization in it, it does seem a little bit sus.
Yeah, it'd be good if they had a couple of teams. They had Bet Boom A, Bet Boom B. They should invite both of them, and then that's already like nearly all the invited teams add up. But we've got to shout out Spirit in all this, I think personally, because since young Donks jumped onto that team, been watching it with eager eyes, and those guys are on a tear at the moment. Like they're qualified for that. They're putting in some good results. Um, Before that in the ESL Challenger, they had a good little run. They beat Apex, they beat Saw, and then in the Thunder Pick, they beat Mouse and Complexity. So these guys
I
are
think they've lost one out of the last 10 games or something.
have they really? So Jesus, so they're tearing it
Yeah,
up with these.
and
With
that was against Mont or someone. But yeah, they're doing really well. I mean, Donk's ridiculous. I mean, what is it? A matter of time before he gets picked up by another team, or do you think he's going to stay?
I think he does get picked up. I think we haven't seen much of him in like the LAN tournaments, or a lot of this stuff's been online. So it'd be interesting to see how he performs at LAN. I wonder whether he does get picked up by like a, don't know, Cloud9 or something like
Navi.
that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, something like that. Would Navi take him after all
Yeah.
the? Yeah, maybe. Cloud9
Oh,
feels like a.
are they doing Russian players?
Well, they had Perfecto and Electronic, didn't they? But I don't know. The rumor I read, or I say rumor, just read about. When you read on a forum, a Reddit or forum,
Yeah.
about Blade and Navi not liking getting on or having an issue with Perfecto and Electronic, but who knows? That's just all just sort. Interestingly, Fnatic were meant to play in that qualifier as well, and so were NiP. So I wonder if the result would have been quite the same with MIBR and Spirit going through if those two teams were there. I think Spirit probably would have still made it through, but you might have seen Spirit and Fnatic or someone instead. But Fnatic pulled out due to lack of roster. They haven't still got their act together with their team. Um, and the Ninjas didn't turn up because of the travel fatigue, they said. So they were pretty tired from, I think, the China tournament that everyone was at. But yeah, interesting nonetheless. And we'll see. Actually, we'll watch that tournament. I think those kind of big tournaments in those places are interesting to watch, and I think people do turn up for it and try and get a win. So 180 grand ain't
Yeah.
anything to sniff at.
Who's playing for Heroic?
I don't
Do we
know.
know?
They don't know. No one knows. Probably ask
Oh,
Cadian to come back for that one.
they'll get some
Blast,
stand-ins or something.
yeah, Blast and stand in for that one, knowing them.
I
Interesting though.
think Cloud9 have got to be looking to win this. I think Spirit have a chance. There's a few teams.
Yeah.
Yes, Astralis, but I just think the whole situation with Astralis at the minute and Yabby and Stown going over, that how can you perform when you're getting kicked out the team, like regardless?
Well, they're not going to play, are they? They wouldn't play in that. They're out.
No, but that's what I'm talking about. Like,
Oh, what, a stand-in you mean, or a
yeah,
temporary?
Borup and Stare or Buzz, whoever's gonna get kicked out, like, surely they can't.
Oh, sorry, Strides thought about Heroic. Um, yeah. Well,
or are they?
you either look at it as a shop window, don't you? An opportunity to show teams that
Yeah,
this is what this lot are missing. You could have us, so jump on board. I think that's the only way you can look at it. Otherwise, you're just.
or they're playing for their spot. Yeah,
Interestingly, you mentioned Heroic and Astralis there because both of them. So these guys are like the Danish rivals. They are like the in a football team, like they are like Man United, Man City, right? They just always beefing or always got a issue with each other. Actually, it's mainly Astralis just being fucking sneaky bastards trying to take all of Heroic's
I
roster.
don't know. I think people have beef with both the organisations. Like a lot of people have beef with Heroic as well, don't they?
Well, when we were in Copenhagen at Blast, uh, Heroic still got a bit of booed a bit, right? Even though they won it,
Yeah,
and
there's a lot more. There was a lot of Astralis fans, there wasn't there? We were in Copenhagen, so
yeah, but it's Heroic. They're all Danish as well. It was mental. I mean, there's like Astralis ultras that just never give up on
yeah,
Astralis. It's like Jesus, just move on,
get over it. Yeah,
get over it. Your team are very average, and your management and your whoever does your talent scouting are sneaky motherfuckers. But interestingly, both teams released some content this week where like they'd Heroic had a series of interviews with Cadian, which further cements Cadian's position as a sound and normal guy if he recorded that after he was leaving after this drama, which I bet he did, knowing him. But it does also still feed into the fact that people say he's like a main character and likes all the attention, which is fair enough. But he's recorded these videos, and again, what came out of that is some chat about the previous dealings of Astralis and Heroic and the S-Tag transfer saga. So when you look back through history of CS and like negotiations, Astralis just always seem to be on the wrong end of like moral 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 negotiations. It's just funny. And I haven't had a chance to watch the Astralis one yet. But again, I think they talked to Glaive and stuff about the transfers and benching him and how he knew about it. So I'm gonna try and watch it. But very weird that they both put this stuff out around the same time.
yeah. Where can you watch this
It's
documentary,
I,
this
th-
Astralis one?
I think it must be on YouTube, right? Or I don't know.
Yeah, I guessing so.
Maybe the dark web known as Australis. Probably wherever you go to get like drugs online because they're just sneaky. Like
Yeah,
you,
should be good. Described as an unfiltered story. Behind the scenes look at the Danish organisation and the teamwork to return to the top of Counter-Strike scene. Yeah, so
oh
it's about the newer team, isn't it? And I guess when Device came back, and
yeah,
yes, should be good, man.
their
Looks like
ongoing attempts to become relevant in the Counter Strike world to be
it. Yeah,
continued.
I mean they might get there if they get Yabby and Stown.
All right, yeah. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Still another number 8 finish, I think. Anyway, moving on. Liquid, they are basically the if what plans out with Liquid, it's like the least kept secret ever in Counter Strike roster changes. They've officially said Daps is gone, which we knew was happening. They've officially benched Patsy. Um, Naf has signed a new contract, which is great because love a bit
We
of Naf.
both rate, yeah, we both rate Naf.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
he's not like he's not gonna carry you to a major final or anything, but he can definitely help you get there.
Yeah. Well, not the current NAF, but the NAF evolved, who was like top 5 in the world at one year. I can't remember what year it was. But also, he just always looks really chung, doesn't he? He just looks like he smoked like fuckloads
Yeah,
of weed.
he looks so chilled.
He's just holding ramp on nuke like a boss, and he's just high as fuck. So fair, fair play to NAF. He deserves the contract. Um, but also, Serato came out in an interview and said that Liquid invited him. You would invite Serato, to be fair. He's one of the few players where you would just be like, come on, we'll invite you to come. We'll roll the red carpet out. What do you want?
Yeah.
Here's the team. Let's see ya. And he said, no. Do you know what? I really like being part of Furia and not really winning anything, or and just being Brazilian in Brazil and never leaving. I'm never fucking leaving. So yeah, he's pretty much decided never to win anything significant in his career and stay at Furia. He's just mental. Why would you not? If the Liquid team is coming together like they're saying it is, and you have a Cadian, Yakinda, Twists, Caserato, oh, and then like yeah, Skulls or someone. That's a sick team. Anyway, I don't know if you've got it.
Maybe it's money. Maybe he likes being the man on the team, and he wouldn't be on this team. I don't know.
But I just don't see where. I mean, he's still young. He's like 24, isn't it, Caserato, right? He's still young. So it's not like he's in his prime and he's over the hill and he's completely ruined. So that's fine. But it's just, you're just always going to be like a top 15 to 20 team at Fury, it feels. I don't know. I mean, it just seems bizarre to me. Um, if why you wouldn't want to go for a super team as it might be, or one of the best teams in the world, if that is what Liquid ends up signing the players that rumored to be, you could be part of something that kicks on and does really well. I mean, for God's sake, they lost to those 9 Panda guys recently, although they've been on a bit of a tear. They lost to Eternal Fire. Sorry. So I think there's a big opportunity miss, but he can continue to bang heads in the Brazilian scene.
Guess it depends, how close they are to getting Cadian, or because they've benched OC. Are they going to get an overoper or what?
Yeah, no idea. I think Cadian is underrated as an AWPer personally. He can do both. He likes the pressure of that.
Yeah, Yakinda's still there, isn't he?
Yeah,
So he might still want to be in game leader.
yeah,
But I guess it wouldn't harm having Cadian on the team, whether he's, it's like second caller or whatever.
yeah. It's
That
true.
would be a pretty sick team, especially if they get Twists.
Um, other news. What else has been going on then? What?
Well, I know we've not really talked about putting this on the notes, but I mean, G2, we spoke
Oh,
about it. We spoke about it earlier. So what did Nico tweet? Now was it?
oh. Also, in the last 3 or 4 minutes, Liquid have officially benched OC. So there you go. That Liquid team is coming together. So yeah, Nex has gone back to G2. So
Yeah, Next has gone to G2, and Cadian
no,
tweeted,
no, Nico
"Happy."
tweeted.
Sorry, yeah, fucking hell,
We're just
can't
obsessed with
move on.
Caden.
Yeah.
Why would we?
Nico tweeted, "Happy that I could pull this deal off. Welcome at Nexa OG." So he's put, "Happy that I could pull this deal off." So
Surely there's
basically,
a
he's
sense of.
he's giving himself all the credit, but I think it was Yanko talking about this. I think it was Yanko saying that he felt like Nico had either said this, or he felt like Nico wanted to build a Serbian team. So that could have been what kept him at G2. If they said to him, you can build, yeah, we'll get more Serbian players in.
So when Nico signed back up, sorry, decided to stay at G2, not go to Falcons, people were tweeting about him doing this and him creating a team and also him using the Falcons stuff as a money grabber for G2 contract. And he was like really vocal, like, "Oh, you know nothing, don't be stupid, that's not happening, whatever." But this is not looking good. This looks like you have done exactly that. Um, and it's like G2 were saved, Nico, our savior, is staying. Bench JKS. It's like I don't really see the massive benefit or gain from getting Nixa back in. Um, I feel sorry for JKS in all this. Hopefully he goes on to a good team, which he will, because he's JKS, and he deserves it. Should do. I just can't see how much more this brings. Does this make them solidify their position in like deep run competitions? They're going to get to the final of like every proper LAN. Like I can't see it. I don't know. Let's see, but
Yeah, I don't
it's
think
not that
he's
exciting, is it? I don't think personally.
signing him. No, I would much rather have JKS. I think JKS is a better player. Nexa is good, but definitely I do think JKS is better than Nexa. Don't understand why they've done this, other than the fact that Nico wanted it, so they were like, yeah, okay. Which I think, to be honest, is a slippery slope. If any player said, if I had an organisation, any player said to me, I want this, or if I got a hint that any player thought they were bigger than the organisation, I'd get rid of them straight away.
Yeah, yeah. What I can't understand is G2's year has been bloody good, right? Or they won Cologne and Qatar, so I don't get why they'd be changing it for Nexa. And Nexa was at IGL as well, right? Before.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
So maybe this is actually paving the way for a Hooksy depart. I don't know, right? If he becomes the IGL, that would be
possibly. But I mean, why wouldn't you keep JKS and get Nexa in?
right and just chuck Hooksy out.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
that makes way more sense to me than getting rid of JKS.
Well, JKS is only bench, so that could still happen. But this could be a very convoluted, complicated way to effectively kick Hooksy out. Just pretend that they're kicking JKS, bench him, bring in Nexa, and they go, actually, Nexa's going to RGLC, Hooksy, JKS is back. That's a better team. That actually is a dangerous team then, I think. But, let's see. Interesting, yeah. We didn't put that on the notes. You're right. So, also I didn't put on the notes was my grand question about okay, so because we didn't have much planned for this podcast, or it felt like we didn't have much planned for this podcast, probably talking more longer than we thought as usual, because we do tend to drag it on. My question, or I thought, right, we'll mix it up and make it a bit more light-hearted, which was when we are having beers, which I've been preventing from doing on the podcast, but really overhears on his beers. What team in the current CS scene do you think, if you turned up to a club and you saw the team bus, I know they're not on a team bus, but you know what I mean, the team bus outside with the logo, and you turn up to the club and you're like, oh fuck, like, the G2 boys are here. Like, this is going to be a good night. Which team do you reckon who would you be most excited to see at the club as a team?
Right. Well, let me start off by saying probably none of them, because I reckon none of them are that seem that entertaining on a night out. But if I was had to pick one, I went through a few different. When you first asked me this question, I was like, I think JL would be a bit of a laugh. Then I thought, oh, actually, FaZe seem like they're always having a laugh and stuff. They might be all right. Then I was thinking, actually, do you know what? Maybe Astralis,
Oh god. Go
Honestly,
on.
maybe
What's
Astralis.
your
I just feel
what's your
like
reasoning? What's your reasoning?
I don't really have one. I just feel like
I can't get my ranks up because I've got this on.
What tournament was it where Device and Blame F and them, like, they were kind of like laughing and joking around during the game, and they just seem like they'd be up for a laugh more so than some of the others. Like, I was thinking maybe FaZe, and then I thought, no, Brokey wouldn't talk. Robs, I reckon, would be fairly shy.
Weird.
Carrigan wouldn't drink.
Yeah, well, I think he only drinks like gin and
Rain
that.
might be a laugh. Twist, I think, will just be being cool at the bar or something.
Yeah, I think you're right there.
So yeah, that's my answer. And I think with the JL thing, maybe because I listened to him on HLTV, and I do think JL would be a really good teammate, but yeah, I don't think he's going to be that much banter on a night out.
I think he'd be right. He came across on that on the HL confirmed thing as really good. And I think he wouldn't be getting tilted. I think he would bring a really positive vibe to a team, a match, and any night out. But we're talking team here. You don't want to be partying with bloody Bit, Bit and Alexi B. Alexi B just making Molotov cocktails up and throwing them in the bar. You're like, get head down.
So go on. Who's better than Astralis? I think Astralis would be a laugh.
Okay, so the problem is with all these teams is you definitely don't have like 5 banter bringers, do you? You have like the odd one or two.
Yeah.
Um, I've got 2 that came to. The problem is as well is I don't want to be limited to the. Astralis is an awful shout, by the way. Device maybe,
Device seems like a laugh. Blame F seems like a laugh.
and then that's
And
it.
Borup seems all right too.
Borup
I
looks
reckon
like
you could have a good chat with Borup. I reckon.
he should be serving you the kebab or McDonald's at the end of the night.
No,
That's what
no.
he looks like. Yeah, I think
And Buzz and Stare might be a bit quiet because I think they're a bit younger. But nah,
Blame F would be
that'd
the
be a
type.
laugh.
Blame F would be the type of mate that'd be really worried that he's gonna kick off at any time. You know, do you have that mate?
Yeah,
It's
that's
you.
what I mean.
It's
I
you.
mean, brilliant.
You know when you go out and you've got that mate that just wants a bit of a tear up and he's like just ready to like get aggy. That makes
No,
me
I reckon it'd be funny. I reckon we'd actually have a laugh with them. And I can't think of any other CS team that would actually be a laugh.
okay. Well,
Go on.
um well my 2 were Mouse was one, and that's because Mouse is very young. So
Yeah,
I was going on the basis
yeah. You
that
sound a bit noncy, so
no.
go on, explain yourself.
Well, I thought was like those boys would be like, you know, up for a few beers. I thought shoot,
No, they're not a bit shy though. Like young kids are usually shy. Like
and they was
they
a bit
don't quite
shy.
get a night out. Go on,
Young.
Mouse
Can we
or
not
who?
say young kids as well? Actually, let's. Do you know what? Mouse is shit. We're not doing shit. We're not doing Mouse. The other team I thought was Vitality because I reckon Apex loves a fucking red wine, and I reckon he's quite funny after a few beers, just being like
Uh,
French and out there. And I think Flamesy has looked pretty animated when I've seen him. Uh,
what?
yeah, he's looked pretty vibesy. And then obviously when Dupree was there, obviously not there, I reckon Dupree would be good up with a few beers as well. So Vitality was my initial thoughts, but with Dupree in there. Um, who else? Yeah, that was probably
Messi
it.
thinks.
Oh, well, Messi's there now. Yeah, Messi's British, and so you can at least have a vibe with him. But he's
I reckon they'd all be so quiet apart from Apex.
really,
Yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
reckon they'd all be pretty quiet, pretty tame. Me, and the Australis lads on the other side of the club having a laugh, and you just all bored, just you and Apex just chatting. The
mate.
rest of them stood quiet.
Maybe in reality, a whole team would just be dead, dead vibes.
I think
Um,
Ents might be all right.
reckon? Oh no,
Nerds, Madden,
I feel like
some
Snap.
bias, Snappy. I think the only one that might be a little bit quiet is Diha.
Yeah, but the problem with Snappy is I feel
The
like
rest of them would be funny.
yeah, Nerds and Pius would be alright. I think maybe Madden. Yeah, but Snappy I think would just be too much of a dad, man. I feel like I'd be letting him down the whole time or disappointing him. You know, if I just like did something stupid, I'd look over at Snappy, just look at me like shaking his head, and I'd be ashamed that I'm doing it. If I danced on a table or something, or if I had a cigarette, I feel like Snappy would be really angry and disappointed. So I wouldn't like that. But Ents isn't a bad chat actually, when you think about it like that.
Okay, well, it's the only team we agree on, so we'll put them.
Ents are our
Yeah.
drinking buddies then. All right, fine. Well, and also there's a Spaniard in there, and you've got some connections there, so that might work. Um. Anyway, that was a diversion away from
Yeah. So
considered Counter Strike conversation. You see, but these are the debates that we should be having more often on the Counter Strike Casuals podcast. I feel. So watch this
yeah,
space, and if you,
the important questions.
oh yeah, absolutely. Um, there
Neo
is
on phase. I've
Neo
got down here.
signed up to phase permanently, which is interesting, isn't it? Because when Roban left, that's when they had their little dip and form towards the end of CS:GO, and it felt a bit like that was one of the reasons why they might struggle. But hey, they've adapted to CS2 so well. I wonder how much that is CS2 and Rops just being the best at it, and or Neo coming in as coach. But it's something's working, right? I think Neo and Carrigan seem to get on really well and have a good relationship. So I think it's deserved, right, for him to be signed.
Yeah, I think it's good. I'm pretty happy for them, happy for him, happy for FaZe in general. But I also do think it's easy to kind of all get along when you're winning. When you
Right.
start losing, that's when that's the real test, isn't it? When you're not playing well, how does it go then?
Yeah. Well,
We'll see.
we will. I think they're still going to be alright. Also, Preezy. We spoke about Preezy a lot last week with the Fnatic edition that they added. These guys have been performing well, right? These guys seem to be really clicking together as a team. And I've put on my notes here, could they become the best team in Denmark? Could Preezy overtake Heroic and Astralis and become the best team in Denmark?
I can see them getting close, to be honest with you, because they're a decent team, and I don't think they've not got any players as good as BlameF or Device, but if they gel as a team, I don't see why not.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they go. I mean, they've been
I wouldn't
performing
put
really well.
money on it, but I can see a world where that happens. I wouldn't be totally against it, but yeah, I wouldn't put any money on it.
Well, if Heroic continue the way they are with no actual real team, I put money on them becoming the second best team in Denmark, that's for sure. Also, I think it's important that we keep an eye on our Lord and Savior David Beckham's team now. Then, so we're going to call it Eagle Watch. We're going to keep an eye on. Also, I feel like
Oh,
we had a weird affiliation with the Bad News Eagles. I don't know why. Why did we like the Bad News Eagles? We felt like they were quite fun
I think
before.
everyone did. They were just like they got to the major. They had no organization. They seemed fun. They were a little bit. They were the underdogs, weren't they?
They were
They kind of
like a hipster choice, weren't they? They're like the
yeah,
team you like
maybe
to
yeah.
pick just to be a bit different, but
And now the shit.
they're shit. Yeah, that. Long story short, they are crap at the moment. And they're
Yeah, that
losing.
that major was so weird. Like there was loads of underdogs that were beating the big teams, and everyone was like, "Oh, these are the new boys coming through." Is this what's going to happen in CS2? And then, no, it's not.
Well,
Calm down.
when you
Get
think,
back in your box.
yeah, when you think back, like where are they now? Gamer Legion are probably the only one of that major run that seemed to be upholding like their.
Who lost most of their players?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's bizarre, but I don't know. Eagle Watch will
So,
continue.
go on. So, how's your Eagle Watch? Just not good in general.
Not good. They lost to most recently to a team called Gucci Academy, who are 90th.
Gucci Academy.
Gucci
They've actually
Academy,
got the Gucci logo.
and yeah, and the 90th in the world. They're a young team though, man. But yeah, the Gucci Academy. Imagine that. That's. Do you know what? I've just changed who my drinking team is. It's the Gucci Boys.
They've all got Gucci tops on in the profile pictures.
So this is what I'm saying. They're the new drinking team.
Brilliant.
If we
And
turn up
one
to the
guy's called Too High.
mate, so actually, I tell you what, we're scrapping Eagle Watch, and it's now Gucci Watch, and this is our team for the podcast, right? And whilst I'm at it, I'm changing my HLTV to say I'm a fan of Gucci Academy. You, have you done that on HLTV? You can choose who you want to be a fan of. I'm now a fan of Gucci Academy, so it's Gucci Watch.
Mate, they're on a 5-game win streak.
Mate, what are you on about? I've been telling you for time to watch out for the Gucci boys.
Go on, lads. These are
um,
brilliant. Okay, so they're a new team.
yeah, the Gucci boys.
Okay, they've done one event. Brilliant.
Uh,
Anyway, so Eagle Watch as it was is for now.
no, it's done.
They're not doing great. Sorry,
Yeah,
David
but
Beckham.
David's done.
Stick to football.
Yeah, whatever it is else you do, just looking pretty. Eagle Watch is over. It's the Gucci boys are in town.
This is typical Diz. Everyone understand this. This is Diz. Oh yeah, I'm a fan of this team, and as soon as they're not doing well, see you later. I support this team now.
He's in Counter Strike in football / soccer. I actually support my home team, which is no, that's never changed, and
Who's that?
Ipswich. Come on, you
Who are
come on, you
they?
Blues, mate. Tractor boys. We're actually doing really well at the moment. Actually, does feel like I'm glory spotting because we're top or second behind Leicester. Anyway, let's not get
Yeah, I've
into
never
that.
heard you talk so much about them. I didn't even know
Oh,
you were a fan.
oh my God, yeah. Um, the only other thing,
Talking of talking of underdogs
go on.
or teams that haven't been doing well, Into the Breach have been doing well.
Into the Breach are having a mini resurgence, aren't they? I bet you're very.
Well,
Are you happy?
yeah.
No, you don't care because they're not a British team anymore.
No, I'm happy. I mean, I still want them to do well. Let's see. They just won a CCT tournament online, so yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, won like 50 grand.
With a stand-in who was their top player, so yeah. But to be fair, their team looks better. I would say this team is by far better than their major team.
Really? Okay, interesting. So
Yeah.
do you think they could go to the next major? They're
Um,
going to make it to the next major? Are Interbreach going to be at the first CS2 major?
no,
Okay,
but
but
their
they're
team
better
is better. Yeah.
on paper.
They've got Masuta, Bymas, Rollin, crucial, and Thomas is benched. But I heard Thomas was coming back.
Yeah, but is he? Yeah, I heard that as well.
But yeah, they had a stand-in anyway. What was his name? Body or something.
Yeah, body.
Who was their top performer of that match. But yeah, I would say that team is better than it was at the major, but we'll see. I mean, what happened to those players that left?
Well, Cypher's been slugging out with TSM.
How are they getting on?
They were
What do you
they
mean?
were doing poorly. I don't know if they've turned it around, but it wasn't going great.
Um, yeah, pretty average. 54.2% win rate.
Yeah, so there you go. Um, anything else for this week, or are we going to look forward to the Blast and seeing some newer? It feels like newer teams, but people we haven't seen performing much recently. I'd be looking forward to seeing Navi with Wonderful and stuff like that. So, is any other news or anything else from the agenda, Mister Briley? Or
Not really,
I
no. Although I would like to mention my fantasy team because since
yeah.
you keep telling me to mention it and I seem to do well, and then as soon as I talk about it, do poorly. But the only reason I would like to mention it is because I've put Wonderful in.
Oh, I did do mine.
Oh, you
Sorry.
did yours?
Yeah, I did it like 2 or 3 days ago, so I forgot. And I put
Okay.
Wonderful in as well. And when you showed me your Wonderful, that you put Wonderful in your fantasy, I thought, oh, that's really brave going for Wonderful so soon. I wouldn't do that. I would be waiting to see how he fit in, and then I've just checked and I've got Wonderful. So anyway,
Yeah.
interrupted you.
Maybe a lot of people will do that. Put Axile. Axile was really cheap.
Okay. Yeah, he's
So I
not been
put him
playing that
in.
long.
Tessis, I feel like he's been playing really well recently.
Mhm.
Flames and JT.
Okay.
So I've mixed it up between loads of teams, so it's probably not going to do too well. But let's
so
see, yeah, man. I'm looking forward to seeing Wonderful on Navi, see how he gets on.
okay, so I went Rops,
The
Mezzy,
boy.
Wonderful, Borup, and S-Tag.
Nice.
Yeah, it feels good. Feels good. That's it. That's a good team.
That is a
Uh,
good team. I nearly put Robson in. I was like, I can't.
oh
I can't
man.
just want to pick the best player in the world.
Yes. Why wouldn't you do that?
Too easy, isn't it?
It is too
And
easy. You
he was
must.
expensive.
He was expensive, to be fair. So I had to get S-Tag. All right, cool. Well, look, thanks for tuning in, guys. Again. It's been a bit of a manic week personally for both of us, so we've been a bit all over the show, but we do appreciate you guys sticking with us and continuing to listen if you are. And if you're new here, we are more organised usually, so catch up with you soon and hopefully you can experience some organised chat. But enjoy Blast and the Counter Strike that's about to happen. And also, if anyone wants any games, hit us up, man. Play some games.
Yeah.
All
Give us
right.
a shout.
Give us a cheers of your beer then, Brady, before you go.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers,
Peace
guys.
out.
GG.